everyone. This is the IC Caribbean podcast, the podcast that takes you on bi-monthly departures to the stunning Caribbean destinations. You will discover the tourism industry, the best Caribbean vacation spots, popular events, and the latest offers from this beautiful part of the world. I am Linky, a Caribbean native of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and an aspiring entrepreneur. I am soft-spoken with an infectious laugh that destroys the quiet with pleasure. So get ready and fasten your seatbelts to land at our next destination.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our second episode of IC Caribbean podcast. I am your host, Linky Jackson. We will be unfolding the beautiful island of Puerto Rico today. Today, I wish to introduce to you Miss Johanna Godinez, who resides in the United States of America. She is a human success development coach and the owner of Beyond Anessa Yoga and the Element Method. This evolutionary life mapping program that helps elevate individuals to their highest purpose and a life of joy through professional and personal support. Welcome, Miss Joanna.
Thank you so much for having me, Linky. It's a pleasure.
And how are you today?
I am doing very well. I'm actually joining you from the beautiful state of Florida.
Ah, so I will start by asking you this question. I know you have opened a business in Puerto Rico. My question to you is, what encouraged this decision?
Oh, well, Puerto Rico actually has some laws that help people from the U.S. that want to go down there and invest and or run their business, especially services industries from there. So running it out of California was really expensive. So moving back to Puerto Rico and being able to run it from there basically gave me some tax benefits and really made it so that it'd be worth it for me to move back down there. And since my business can be pretty much run out of anywhere, it was just the right thing for us to do.
Okay, good. How many times did you visit Puerto Rico before deciding that this was your chosen location?
Oh, I was born and raised on the island. My father actually still lives there, but I had been out of the island, living out of the island for over 20 years. So it was more like choosing to come back home.
Oh, oh, so you were there from you were small. But you left Puerto Rico at what age?
I was 11, but because my dad still lived there, I would visit every once in a while. But I was like 7th grade when I left.
Oh, okay, good. So Puerto Rico. Does it matter where you are located when you are there? Does it matter to you where you stay when you are there?
Well, Puerto Rico has a lot of diversity. So if you like the country, you can go to the country. If you like the forest, you can go to the forest. If you like the beach, there's a million of them. So it depends. Like my home is closer to where nature is, so I'm more in the mountainy part. But you can't be more than 2.5 hours away from the beach, so it's perfect.
Wow. That's good. You what would you say is your most passionate place to visit when you go to Puerto Rico
I
in
love the
terms
west
of
side.
the site?
I love the west side of the island. I feel like the vibe in the west side is very special and very different. The east side, which is like where San Juan would be. The beaches there are wonderful. So there's a lot of surfing towns. And like the vibe is just so amazing. So the west side is the best side.
You have a particular site of interest that you would go to, like somewhere you would encourage persons to visit when they travel to Puerto Rico?
Well, it depends what kind of experience you're looking for. Like they have some all-inclusives. I know some people like that. They have that in Rio Grande. When I go to the west side, I stay in a place called Marjao, which is in Isabela, and it's just gorgeous. It's like little huts, and they have like their own private little beach, so it's beautiful. If you want like a more high end, they have really amazing places in Rincon. And then if you're looking to have like an experience that's like a more local beach experience, La Parguera, which is in Cabo Rojo, it's just wonderful. So really it depends what you're looking for, in terms of like if you want to be in the nature, be Utuado. But a really cool thing to see if you go to Puerto Rico, and they have them in a couple different parts of the island, is the Phosphorescent Bay. Like if you go to Puerto Rico, you can't miss seeing that.
Good. What kind of arrangement do you get when you travel to Puerto Rico? How do you get to your destination?
Well, the best part is being in the US makes it really easy for anyone from here to go, because since it's a part of the United States, you don't really need a passport. I love Airbnb. I really like being able to like pick one day here, one day there, one day there, and then travel around. So
Okay.
you, yeah, that's what I would do. I always recommend, if anyone's gonna be more than like 30 minutes away from the airport, to get a car, because Ubers aren't as common as they are in the US, especially like in smaller towns. So I would definitely recommend that, unless you're just staying in, like I said, in an all inclusive or something like that.
Oh, okay, good. Could you recall one of your most memorable moments in Puerto Rico?
Oh my God, yes. I went to, so Puerto Rico has little islands that belong to it as well. One of them is called Vieques. And I got invited over there by a friend who is a sailor. So he took me out on a sailboat, and then we went scuba diving, and I got to swim with sea turtles. And technically, medically, I'm not supposed to be able to scuba dive because I have an issue with my ear, but he's a free diver. Yeah, but he's a free diver. So he taught me how to equalize through my tongue on the roof of my mouth. And the second that I sort of got it, he was like, okay, let's get in the water. So it's the only time that I've ever been able to scuba dive, because like I haven't been able to figure out how he taught me to do what I did. So it was a once in a lifetime experience, because it's the only time I've
Oh,
been able to go down. Yeah, and I went down like 45 feet. So I went down pretty far.
wow. For a first time.
Hmm.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess
without
because you,
training.
oh my.
He was like, okay, now
Well,
let's go.
well, you got the technique, so you use it to your advantage. That's good.
Yeah,
Do
it was
you
definitely a lifetime thing.
when you go back to Puerto Rico, do you do any shopping in terms of souvenirs? Where do you go, and do you go souvenir hunting?
So Old San Juan is the best spot for the souvenirs, just because they have so many little shops. It's just amazing. But if you're visiting the island, if you go in their Discover Puerto Rico, which is a tourism page, if they have any like cool like town meetings, they would have like artisans and stuff like that, so they would have those in Discover Puerto Rico, and they often have those in different parts, so it's fun.
Okay, good. Oh, um, share your impression on the hospitality of the locals. How are you being treated by the locals?
Oh, Puerto Rico is actually one of the happiest places on earth. Before Hurricane Maria and um all of the like they ended up having earthquakes, and then the pandemic, and they had a bunch of different like things going on. But I got carried away. I'm seeing some of the comments and it's throwing me off. But when I go over there, like the most important thing to remember is just like everything else. Like if you're gonna be out late at night, like don't be on your phone, not paying attention to where you're going. You know, it's just the basic things when you're traveling. But I feel like the locals there are always willing to help. And the benefit is that most people in Puerto Rico speak English, and most of the world either speaks Spanish or English as a second language. So it's really easy to go down there and be able to communicate, which is fun because a lot of places, for example, in South America, if you don't really know Spanish, it's kind of harder to get around. In Puerto Rico, people will do everything in their power to try to talk to you and understand you. So it's really good. In Puerto Rico, so much of their economy is based on people coming in, their tourism. So they make sure that they make all the tourists welcome and they make them feel like they're at home.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Would you recommend Puerto Rico to your friends and family as the ideal destination place for vacation?
Oh, absolutely. A million times over. I've had, when I was in high school, I had a group of my friends down. When I was in college, I had a group of my friends down. And it was always just amazing times. So yeah, I would absolutely recommend it. And it's, like I said, it's a really easy place to get around. So it's a nice place to visit.
Oh, okay. I hope I will be able to get to visit Puerto Rico soon.
Oh, me too, Linky. Let me know. I'll make sure that it's memorable.
I am glad we discovered a little of Puerto Rico today. So we are at the end. So Johanna, on behalf of the team and we would like to say thank you for joining us on today to share about the exciting experience of the beautiful Puerto Rico. It was a pleasure having you. And thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
You are welcome. You too.
Their audience, we have reached the end of our trip, so fasten your seatbelts to land at your hometown. Wishing that you enjoyed your trip with the Icy Caribbean podcast. Our next trip will be after 2 weeks, so subscribe now to be notified about our next departures. Next trips will carry a lot of surprises, and free surprises are not refusable. If you enjoyed your trip, leave us a review. This is the only way you tell Google that we deserve to be on its search pages. Hot greetings from my team and I, Linky Jackson. See you next trip. Icy Caribbean Podcast, the voice of the Caribbean diversity.